also know that it's just a party, Miss Edie. Not an execution." Lizzie's hand stayed in the air between them. And finally, Edie sighed and took the bottle. She was the picture of compliance as Lizzie led her to the velvet stool in front of the vanity table and sank her toes into the plush carpets, deep enough to grow roots, as the maid pulled her brand-new party dress from the wardrobe and hung it on the valet stand. "It may as well be an execution," Edie grumbled as she opened the bottle. The liquid swirled inside, and she grimaced as she let 3 bitter drops of the tincture her latest doctor prescribed hit her tongue. Just 3. Enough to stave off the headache, but not enough to knock her senseless. "The execution of my hopes and dreams." Lizzie moved behind her, tisking over the state of Edie's long waves. The glossy, coal-black strands snarled together. "I know it can't be easy, but Francis is happy." The dress's delicate fabric shimmered under the glow of the electric bulb on the vanity table, pale green silk and gold lace. Aunt May had ordered it during Edie's recovery, desperate to give her something to celebrate, something to live for. She'd made Edie promise to wear it when that young man finally returned from Europe. Well, Edie supposed she would be keeping that promise tonight, even if this wasn't what Aunt May had imagined. Because Theo Pepper had proposed to Francis. Theo. Edie's Theo. The boy who had spent long, lazy afternoons painting Edie in slanted rays of sunlight. The young man who had made 100 different promises to Edie as he marched off to war, was marrying her twin sister. She knew that she had no right to be upset. While she'd been bundled off to her aunt's home in Los Angeles to regain her strength, Theo had been fighting for his life, first in the trenches, and then from a hospital bed. Edie hadn't returned his letters. What was she supposed to say? "I'm so sorry you met the wrong end of a gun, darling, but can I take a moment to tell you how I dream of walking straight into the ocean and never returning?" So she didn't write. Not then, and not when he was discharged from the hospital, or when he decided to continue his medical studies in Vienna, long after his letters to her had dwindled to silence. And when he finally came home to Philadelphia, Edie's perfect, beautiful sister was there, waiting. Edie didn't blame him for loving her. Francis was the best person she knew. And Edie shouldn't blame her for loving him. Theo was incredibly lovable. The only person Edie could blame was herself. "Do you have a sister?" Edie asked Lizzie suddenly. Lizzie froze, her eyes going wide in the mirror, and inwardly Edie cursed herself for being so familiar. It was Lizzie's job to learn how her mistresses took their tea, the way they liked to wear their hair, to hold her employer's secrets close. Not the other way around. Never the other way around. 3 years away had made her forget herself. 3 years with Aunt May's eccentricities had made her forget how things were supposed to be. "I'm sorry," Edie said, her voice softer. "I shouldn't pry." "No." Lizzie lifted a long lock of Edie's nearly black hair and twirled it around a curling rod. "I don't mind." She gave a small, sad smile. "I had a sister-in-law once, but now I'm just stuck with my brother." "I'm sorry," Edie said again. Lizzie shook her head and set the rod aside. "It was a long time ago, and we've all lost someone, haven't we? Do you need help getting into the dress?" "Just the buttons." Edie stood, dropped her dressing robe, and took the dress from the hanger. It rustled as she stepped into the skirt and pulled the low-cut bodice up over her chest. Edie's grandmother would have a fit when she saw it. The square neckline showed off a daring bit of skin, and the dress hugged the curves of Edie's waist, following the flare of her hips before swirling out to hit mid-shin, leaving her legs exposed to the straps of her dainty golden pumps. A sheer golden overdress, diaphanous
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.